Hello and welcome to Too Old and Too Slow. In this episode, I talk to you about my £1 yacht. So, welcome aboard Hooley. This is my £1 yacht. So first of all, apologies. I've got a bit of a cold, just getting over. I don't know where I caught it, but I'm just getting over a cold, so my voice is pretty weak. Anyway, so this is Hooley, my £1 yacht. And in this short video, I'm going to introduce you to the yacht, and I'll tell you why I bought it, how come I got to buy it for £1, and give you a little look round. So this is Hooley, which is a Hurley 22. And I'm going to tell you how I came about getting this boat for just £1. It all happened during COVID times. So the aviation industry was decimated by COVID, travel stopped, and my employer went into a quite defensive position. And I thought, like many people, this was the end, you know? We didn't know what was going to happen in the future. So I was living day by day at home, waiting for news, see if anything changed, like everybody else, I think, in those times. And I saw this boat come up. A woman called Lindy owned this yacht for quite a few years, but was getting on a bit, getting less mobile, and needed someone to give it a bit of care and attention. I was worried that I would lose my job and I would never fly again. That's how I felt. So I needed something to focus my mind and also keep my hands busy. So I got in touch with her. We agreed a price of £1. And I took it on. Initially, it was kept at Del Key, which is where I am now, at a boatyard here in the yard on the Hard. And then, due to COVID restrictions, I couldn't work on it in the boatyard. So I had to get it home. I was in a different house at the time, which had quite a large front garden. So I rented a car trailer, drove down to the boatyard, got the guy at the boatyard to crane the boat onto the car trailer, put the mast on top of it. I didn't strap it down. The roads were dead quiet due to COVID, and I just drove home. I got home, I tied the back of the boat to a tree and drove off. And the boat came clattering onto the ground, and there it was for about 6 months or so. During those 6 months, I had plenty of time because I wasn't flying that much. I was still flying a bit, but I wasn't flying that much. So it gave me opportunity to repaint the inside. I also did some electrical work. I rewired the boat and installed a battery and a radio. I also fitted depth and wind instruments, as well as painted the outside. Installed a little sea toilet as well, which is underneath where I'm sitting, and just really enjoyed getting up every day and having a real purpose and something to do. Once the boat was finished, I had to get it back to the boatyard, and that wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. I know nothing really about the world of boats and yachting, so I rang around a couple of people to see how much it would cost to move it the 7 miles from my house to the boatyard, and I was quoted about £1,800. And then I called up a plant hire company, and they had a truck which could pick it up. Spoke to this guy and said, "Can you possibly think about doing it?" He said, "I'll come round." So he came round, he measured it, and I thought we were there to negotiate the price. He said £200. I said that's fine, and then he got the straps out and picked it up, and he moved it the 7 miles there and then for £200 in cash, and it was back at the boatyard to be launched. Since it's been here, I keep it in the water in the summer and it stays in the yard in the winter. The boat parking is cheap. It's about £50 a month, which is pretty good for a mooring. And it's only about 10 minutes drive from home, so I can whiz down like today, whiz down any time, jump on, have a little bob around and sail out. This year I'm going on, I want to go on some big adventures. I want to sail across to a different country, well, to the Isle of Wight, and spend a couple of nights on board the boat, just out of sense of adventure and something to do.
Most of the time I'm sailing on my own, and I've got two sails which can be raised and lower from the cockpit. That saves me having to go forward, which is quite dangerous when you're sailing on your own. And looking back towards the cockpit, you can see I've attached the dinghy behind this little tender, which means I can get out to my boat quite easily. I bought this quite cheaply, and I tend to tow it just in case I have problems and I want to go ashore.
So this is the cockpit of the boat, and I've got wind instruments and two sails. It's very small, but it's ideal for someone like me who's not much of a sailor to be able to sail single-handedly. I've got the emergency brake, the anchor. As you can see, I've got a beautiful mooring. Come down here, I can forget about everything. To power the boat, I have got a wee little Mercury 5 horsepower 4-stroke engine. That sits in a little well, and that chugs us along just about fast enough. That cost me about £500, and I think that was quite a worthwhile investment. I've got my little rubber boat. The rubber boat cost me £100, and the motor on the back cost me £100. So, you know, my yachting adventures didn't cost me very much. So let's go and look inside at the luxury yacht accommodation. It came with the Dodgers, which are these kind of blue things on the outside, and this little screen here as well. So this is inside. So I've got technically a berth here and a berth here. I've got kind of a little sink arrangement I've manufactured, and a gas stove, and more accommodation at the front. It's small, but it's basic. I've got a VHF radio, various lights and instruments, a bilge pump just to make sure I don't drown. So it's all neatly wired in, and everything works pretty much as it should.
And that is Hooley, my £1 yacht. Thank you so much for watching. Please do let me know in the comments below if you want to see any more sailing content, and maybe come along with me on a sailing adventure. Please remember to subscribe, and I always appreciate a thumbs up. It does help the algorithm. So thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you next time.